Hello, I'm Davey, and I am awesome. And this is my brother Josh, the Film Bestie.
I can no longer live this life. The name Josh is that of a warrior. I am kind. Now on you will all refer to me as Rachel.
Rachel? Isn't that a girl's name? Hey Dad! Enough! Stop this! You and Rachel, let's do this.
Do you like fun and adventure? Then sit back and enjoy the Brothers Not Lovers as they discuss all things movies. What's overrated or underrated? What makes you go really? Or how dare you? Or even just simply how funny this movie can be. You have the insightful, intuitive Davey, who is awesome. And you have the Film Bestie, Josh. He's there.
Hi! I'm Davey. I'm awesome. This is Josh, Film Bestie.
How the hell did we get here?
Break the fourth wall again, I break your neck.
Please break his neck. Please break his neck.
Calm down. And this is the Brothers Not Lovers episode review.
Yay.
Yes, we've been reviewing one of our favorite childhood series, the Fairy Tale Theaters and the Fairy Tale Theater Classics. And, well, eventually we're going to get to some that we didn't really favor that much. Like this one.
Why? Why do you need me for this?
I am not doing this alone.
You let your wife raise your kids alone. The least you could do is do this alone.
That's different. This is important. This one came out in 1983, and it was directed by Ivan Passer, and written by Joan Micklin Silver and Hans Christian Andersen. Produced by Shelley Duvall, Frederick S. Fax, and Bridget Turry. Made by Gaylord Productions, Platypus Productions, and Lionsgate, as well as Razzmatazz, and distributed by Showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth in the Fairy Tale Theaters, The Nightingale. Of course, like every episode, it opens with an introduction by Shelley Duvall. And in this one, she's not going to star in it, but she is going to be the narrator. And she starts off by telling us that this story is very old, and we should all hear it.
Before it is forgotten.
Come on, man. Can't you just let us forget it? Let it be forgotten.
Dude, I tried to forget it for like 20, 30 years. It's never going away. And she talks about the Cathayans.
Was that like a new form of trendy hipster coffee customers?
No, they're from a province in China called Cathay.
Awful lot of honkies.
And these Cathayans are proud to be Cathayans.
But very few were ever allowed to look upon the emperor.
Aw, the poor caffeine-ins, or, yeah,
Cathayans.
they and conveying
Cathayans.
what he said. Dude, is that Keith Richards?
That's Mick Jagger.
Yeah, he does look like Mick Jagger.
He looks like Mick Jagger because that is Mick Jagger. The Emperor of China is Mick Jagger.
The Emperor of China wrote Sympathy for the Devil?
You're about to start me up. Then we, of course, see the Emperor, played by Mick Jagger, who totally looks Chinese. This was one of Mick Jagger's earlier acting roles.
Right before he did that awesome performance in that Free Jack?
You know, wasn't the greatest movie, but it had your favorite.
Oh.
Mr. Estevez.
Let him say it. Emilio!
And then we see the gardener, played by the late, great Mako.
Hey, an Asian guy.
There's not many of them. And he is putting silver bells on all the flowers, because the Emperor wants to make sure that as people pass, they notice the prettiest flowers.
What's the point? Wouldn't they have already noticed? They're really that pretty.
Apparently not. Then we see the maid, played by Barbara Hershey.
Love me some Hershey. Kisses.
She just happens to be walking by.
Why are you rushing?
My mother is quite ill, and I'm bringing her scraps from the Emperor's table.
What the hell? Scraps? You give your servants scraps? This Emperor sucks. Come on, man. Can't we just, watch the dancing princesses or something?
Dude, can we just get through this one?
Can't get no satisfaction.
Since the maid's mother is sick, the gardener suggests that she goes and brews magic tea. He says if the moon is full, there is a particular tea that she can pull the root out, and if a moonbeam hits it, it turns magic and makes her well. The gardener tells her to go into the forest and call upon the fairies.
Primrose and pansy, and they will lead you to it.
Or you can just skip all that and go to Raising Cane's.
That tea is magic. So she goes into the forest and she finds the fairies Primrose and Pansy. And even though you can barely see them, Primrose is played by Angelica Houston.
Sweet.
But this is all she's doing in this. Damn. The most talented, most famous actress they have in this. This is her part.
Give me shelter.
And then Primrose and Pansy show her the route. And on her way home, she sees the Nightingale singing its song.
Paint it black?
No, that's definitely not what the Nightingale is singing.
Should be. It's the best one.
Sure. Back at the Emperor's room, the Prime Minister, played by Edward James Olmos, is telling him he should say something.
Hey, look! They got Irish guys in China.
Edward James Olmos is Mexican, you idiot.
There were black people in Mexico?
Why should I?
I don't know, because you're the lead. You're the main star. You've fought to get this role.
Through and through?
The Emperor gets up and talks about how people come from all over to admire his porcelain palace. How they admire his splendid palace, his splendid robes.
And of course, my splendid self.
Emperor seems a little bit full of himself.
I've been to the porcelain palace. It smells like a toilet in there. Ruthless people.
But what disturbs him the most is that he says the most beautiful poems are written about a nightingale that he's never seen or even heard of. But it turns out nobody in his court has heard of it either. So he decrees that he wants to see that nightingale tonight!
Or I will have you all punched in the stomach!
Oh. This diabolical fiend. So his court goes around the entire palace, searching high and low, and find out that the maid knows where the nightingale is. And they promise that if she tells them where the nightingale is, then they will promote her to the imperial kitchen maid.
Sway.
And permission to watch the Emperor dining.
So her reward is that she gets promoted to a position where she gets to watch him eat? So, to get the promotion so she can watch the Emperor eat, the maid takes them to the Nightingale and tells the Nightingale that the Emperor wishes for it to sing to him.
It is my pleasure.
Apparently the Nightingale worked at Chick-fil-A. So they take the Nightingale to the palace and it sings for the Emperor. Does he think he's conducting the Nightingale?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they sound different. Nothing like that. Sing Brown Sugar.
Your song has gone straight to my heart.
Oh, really? I'd fire a BB and throw a shoe at it.
The Emperor offers the Nightingale a reward, but the Nightingale says that its song has brought tears to the Emperor's eyes.
For me, that is the richest treasure.
Yeah, after being stuck watching this for an hour of my life I'll never get back, I want to make Mick Jagger cry too.
The Nightingale becomes so popular in the kingdom that it becomes a saying.
Nightingale.
Funny, we have a very similar saying. Oh, hi.
Mark? We don't care if you get it.
We even see the gardener and his wife talking about they're about to have a child. And if it's a girl, they're going to name it Nightingale. And if it's a boy, Nightingale.
If my parents ever named me Nightingale, I would have my revenge.
But Rachel was okay?
Shut up.
But now the Emperor receives a gift from the Emperor of Japan. A golden nightingale. And the golden nightingale has a wind-up, and whenever you wind it up, it sings.
I count 11 herbs and spices coming for the real one. The end!
No, we are not done.
Uh-huh.
The people are all praising the new golden bird.
That new one is so much prettier to look at.
But how is it at brick breaking? Because of this insult, the nightingale flies away. And the people start getting in the Emperor's ear telling him that the nightingale never really cared about him.
Oh yeah, it's totally a Steven Tyler fan.
I mean, it makes sense. It did have him crying.
Now he's crazy.
It's amazing.
Shut up and dance.
We gotta get back to this. I don't want to miss a thing.
You're living on the edge.
Enough, children.
Don't do that, because watching this gives me a sweet emotion.
Hey, dude looks like a lady.
So now the Emperor makes a decree.
The old Nightingale will be banished from my porcelain palace forever.
Oh, okay, that's that then. We're finished. Finito.
We're
It's
not
over.
done.
I am.
Yeah, you know what, Josh? I think you need to sit back, relax. And I think you need a drink.
No thanks, I'm trying to cut down.
Drink the drink.
I don't want the drink.
He doesn't want the drink.
He does.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
Listen, when I say I do, that means I do. Cuddy Sark. That was Harold's drink.
The Emperor is content with his gold bird, but eventually he plays it so much that it starts to break.
It's a mechanical bird. They don't last forever. Nothing's made to last forever. Except this excruciatingly long episode.
So now they call a doctor.
For a mechanical... No, not for a mechanical bird. You call it a nerd squad.
I can't be of use here.
You want to get this one?
Duh!
Could it be that I bagged the wrong bird?
Yeah, this one's yours, dude.
Okay. Duh! Soon his grief causes him to fall ill.
The doctors expect him to live but a short while.
No. No need to cry. As soon as he dies, we're done with this whole thing. This whole episode's over. Don't cry.
Even though he is dying, nobody is comforting him. So the maid goes into the woods to find the nightingale.
To offer the nightingale some Hershey kisses? That's funny to me.
It breaks my heart that he must die all alone.
It's like it breaks my heart. This whole thing was included in the series.
As the Emperor is being tormented by a death spirit,
Sweet black angel.
the nightingale starts to sing.
She's a rainbow?
No, just sing the same tune. It sings the entire time.
Oh.
And this leads the death spirit away because of its beautiful melody.
Come back, spirit! Please, come back.
It's a death spirit.
I know, and I love it, and I miss it already.
Of course, the Emperor is thankful, says thank you to the nightingale for saving his life. But the nightingale says it was the maid that summoned him.
It is she who should be rewarded.
Well, for starters, you could learn her name. The next morning, the Emperor is feeling better.
It's too bad.
And he asks the nightingale to stay, but it only has to sing whenever it wants to. The nightingale says, though, it wants to come and go as it pleases. but requests that the Emperor tells no one about the bird that comes and tells the Emperor about everything.
Then all will go well with your kingdom.
Yeah. Seriously, who the hell would trust a ruler that takes advice from a chicken wing?
Honestly, right now, I would trust that more than what we got going on. The Prime Minister is telling everybody that the funeral will be later that day and is about to announce himself as Emperor just when...
Good morning.
Yeah, our disappointment's pretty much mirrored right now. I'm very, very, very disappointed, just like you, pal.
So the Emperor goes on to rule with the Nightingale and the kitchen maid.
Are they gonna get married or something?
They never say. So there you have it. That's the Nightingale. In my opinion, the worst of the fairy tale theaters. The thing is, with all these episodes, different stories, there are some that are good, there are some that are bad, but at least none of them are as bad as this one.
You think?
I'm sorry, dude, we have to get through it.
You still owe me. You owe me!
I don't owe you nothing.
I did this for you. I didn't want to be here.
You wanted to do the fairy tale theaters.
Not this one, not all.
Yeah, well, I hate to break it to you, dude. You want a rose, it comes with thorns.
You know what? There's only one way we're going to get through this. Prove you're a man and have a drink with me.
I don't drink, though.
Just drink.
Why does that have to be out of a horn? Can't I have a cup?
It is a cup. Drink. Mine's bigger than yours.
Cup. Demure, but robust. Funny enough, though, this one is the first based on a novel by Hans Christian Andersen, whereas most of them are based on the Brothers Grimm. Stick to the Brothers Grimm. Because honestly, as far as the Nightingale goes, of all the things they could have made stories about, even the book is not that interesting. It's kind of boring.
Was this Mick Jagger's favorite? That why you want to do this crap?
I think it was just they didn't want to give him one of the better ones. Because that's another thing. Especially nowadays, people get offended by stuff like this because he's obviously not Asian and he's playing a Chinese emperor. But then again, you got to remember, this was the selling point of these fairy tale theaters, is they're going to be low budget, but they're going to have celebrities in them. And, of course, he was going to play the emperor because at the time he was the only celebrity in this. They had Barbara Hershey. Barbara Hershey was one of those actresses, like, most people, funny enough, they knew the name, but most people could not place the name with the face. They would just be like, oh, she's that girl from that one thing. Nowadays, mostly that girl from that Lifetime movie. Some people would argue, like, well, what about Edward James Olmos? He's famous. Not at this time. At this point in time, this was 1983, he was recognizable. People were like, oh, he's that guy from that one thing. At this point in time, more than likely, if you said he was that guy from that one thing, you were talking about Blade Runner, where he played Origami. That was a huge hit the year before this came out. But he himself was not a household name until Stand and Deliver, which would come out 3 years later.
I don't know. He was pretty good in Young Guns and La Bamba.
That was Lou Diamond Phillips, who was in Stand and Deliver with Edward James Olmos.
Wasn't he in Boogie Nights?
I don't have any idea who you're talking about there. Please tell me you're not confusing Edward James Olmos with Mark Wahlberg or William H. Macy.
No, I was thinking Lou Diamond Phillips. You know, the guy who was in the Hunger Games before he died?
He's not dead.
He was the fat blonde guy from Boogie Nights.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
That was the girl from Titanic.
We're done. They also had the music man in there, was played by Bud Cort, who at the time a lot of people thought was going to be a big star. He was in a lot of things, but he never became a big star. In fact, the only leading role I can ever remember him from is that god-awful TV movie Bates Motel. The biggest star in this was Mick Jagger, so of course he was going to get the lead. But if it makes you people feel better, they didn't do the makeup effects to make them look like Chinese people. They were trying to make them look like the illustrations from the Nightingale books. So that should comfort you a little bit.
And if you need further comfort, if you think this is offensive, watch John Wayne as the Conqueror.
There you go. Where he doesn't even pretend to be Asian, just John Wayne with bad English.
I'm about to teach you Kung Fu, Pilgrim.
As far as recommending this, only way I'm going to recommend it is so you can say that you've seen the entire Fairy Tale Theater series. But if that's really not that important to you, go ahead and skip this one.
Skip it. You know you want to.
It's not the best story. In fact, the story itself is kind of stupid. An egotistical emperor who lives in a toilet who needs to be comforted by a freaking bird. And
it sounds like every teenager today.
Fair enough. It lags. It's boring. It's only like an hour long, and you feel like you've been there for 3-4 hours. I remember we watched this once when we were a kid, and funny enough, we didn't get to watch these on Showtime. We didn't have Showtime when we were a kid. We would just rent the VHSs, and a couple of them we double taped. But this one, I remember we watched it once, and then every time we watched it after that, even though, for those of you who don't remember VHS, you couldn't just skip like a DVD scene. You had to fast forward. We fast forwarded through it every single time after that.
First time I saw this, I cried. I cried like a child who got shown something inappropriate.
It's because I shot you with a BB.
That too. My butt still hurts.
But like I said, if you can endure a boring hour, then go ahead and check out the Nightingale.
Or if you're pretentious and pompous and think you're so cultured, go ahead and check it out and pretend you like it.
Otherwise, skip it and go to Sleeping Beauty, the next one. So there you have it. That's our episode review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. More than we enjoyed the Nightingale.
Oh, God.
And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when we post the videos, and leave a comment that can be answered in my next Comic Corner. Love you guys.